Hello Aquarius, welcome to Mama Gigi Tarot. This is going to be a reading. I do most of my readings in real time, so this will play out for many of you within the next 72 hours. But also keep in mind, this is a timeless reading, so we're on different timelines, so whenever the message applies. So, for your overall energy, you have Time Master. Right now, you're being asked the question, will you break free from limited cause and effect thinking by moving beyond the linear illusion and welcoming the cyclic quality of time? Right now, you find yourself in a moment when the wheel of time turns and you're able to influence the past, thus changing the present and the future all at once. In doing so, by changing your past timelines, you change your current and your present timelines, or your current and your future timelines rather. You're being invited to take back your power right now, so it's important to let go of your past and remember that anything is possible right now. Then you have Althea. It speaks to truth and clarity, revelation, disclosure. Our soul recognizes the truth when someone speaks it. When we hear someone speak the truth, we see the truth within ourselves, and we're more likely to tell our own story. Right now, we're being required to step towards an act of truth in our own lives. Reclaiming our own truth is a way to reclaim our vital energy and our sense of belonging in the world. Then you have the Two of Cups, which is the card of Cancer. This represents a new business partnership or an employment relationship. It's going to be filled with positive energy and inspiration for the future. Your finances are likely to be well balanced at this time, and this is a good sign that you'll finally meet the person that you've been waiting for in terms of love and new relationship. And as a result, this relationship will bloom. The attraction is going to be mutual, and you may believe that you have met your perfect match or even your soulmate. Then you have the Hierophant, it's a card of Taurus. You may have met someone or be meeting someone you feel as though you've known before. This may be someone you have an immediate rapport with. This can be someone who acts in a conventional way. And you may be asked to conform to certain rules if you're to move ahead with your plans. You may find yourself battling against restrictions imposed by others or perhaps circumstances. At the very least, you're dealing with an orthodox group of people who that you may feel are limiting your free spirit and your independent nature. I think primarily what this is speaking to is you're going through a formal initiation of some sort, or a rite of passage, and there's a need to follow the rules and do everything by the book. You may be getting a promotion, or you may be graduating as a rite of passage. You may be receiving a formal acceptance into a group, and this could indicate a social responsibility of some sort within a spiritual group. It could be within a work setting as well. But regardless, there's going to be rigid standards. And whoever you're dealing with, or the group you're dealing with, they have a very narrow-minded approach to things. So, for there to be success within this relationship or within this setting, you're going to be required to take a more conventional or traditional approach. And this could be even be as simple as, old-fashioned dating or old-fashioned dating politics. You also may be required to go through some sort of official training of some sort at this time. Then you have the Ten of Pentacles, which is card of Virgo. It speaks to material affluence, family, security, and convention. Again, this is another card of sticking to the rules to further confirm the Hierophant. I believe the Hierophant's a person. It could be a group, but I believe it's a person. So, and with the, you have an understanding that by sticking to the rules or doing things by the book, it's going to yield success. You have an understanding that, or they've made sure, they or he has made sure that a radical and unpredictable approach are not welcome. Right now, it's important to assess your motivations for your desired outcome and recognize your traditional values and follow the conventional pathway if that's your bag. But also, it's important not to fool yourself either, because you know yourself and you know what you can and can't do. Because then you got the Siren, which is you guys. This is the card of the Temptress, the Seducer, also the Femme Fatale. The Siren calls and the world spins. And what we thought we wanted pales in comparison to the allure. And someone may feel as though they're under your spell at this time. And regardless of if this spell is good or bad, I don't think they care. Because it's a journey that matters. And I think that they are recognizing that. You're taking someone on a psychic descent of some sort. And because the Siren requires us to explore things that are taboo. The Siren laughs at convention and constraints, and she's really not about rules or any of that. The Sirens are commonly referred to as the Trinity of Temptation, the triple threat, if you will. And then you got the Magician. This is you guys. It's card of Aquarius. This is God energy. It's having the resources to facilitate an experience. You have magical and spiritual prowess, as well as initiative at your disposal. And right now, you have a wonderful opportunity to thrive in an economic environment. You may be getting a job, a promotion, or recognition for your skills. This also indicates the ability to take control of the situation. You're going to be receiving expertise or advice from someone who's been there and done that, and I believe that's going to be the Hierophant. And there's an opportunity to acquire new skills and resources and to strengthen your ability in any capacity of your life. And this is going to be coming from personal experience from the Hierophant. The Hierophant's older than you. He's very experienced in whatever field he's in. He's an expert in whatever field he's in. And he may be acting as either a boss or a mentor. Right now, this is what the deal is, guys. You're not paying enough attention to how much power you have in this situation, okay? And if you let the situation get away from you, it will, but it doesn't have to. So it's important to take control and own your power right now. Because you're dealing with a romantic partner who's not only highly skilled, but highly capable and successful. And you have the potential to not only manifest the love that you want, I believe it's the Hierophant, but you can do so with everything you have at your disposal. Because I think for some reason that you may think that you may need additional resources to do so, but you don't, because everything you have is at your disposal. All it requires is for you to put forth the effort. I'm going to place emphasis on that. All it requires is that you put forth the effort. Because I believe that in many cases, a lot of things just come to you guys naturally without much effort, but this is going to be a different deal. Because things do come to you guys naturally without a lot of effort. A lot in many cases, but this is going to be a different deal. So this is going to require that you put forth the effort. Now is the time to take control of this situation. So do your manifestation work, do your spell work, do whatever you guys do. Whatever y'all do, do it. And manifest the world that you want. Using your own skills and resources and your abilities, because you can. You're the damn magician. You can manifest anything that you want. Some of you may have lost sight of that. Some of you haven't lost sight of that. But this is just a reminder. Take control of the situation right now. Don't let it get away from you. Because you can. Then you got the High Priestess. Y'all, the combination of the Magician and the High Priestess. I mean, come on. Really? You got this. So, High Priestess is a card of Pisces. But, the High Priestess, I mean, that's someone that gives sound advice. I mean, you give sound advice because you're listening to your own intuition. And you are seeing this situation clearly. As long as you listen to your intuition and you follow your own sound advice. The only challenge here is going to be if you're not following your intuition or your own sound advice. Or if you're not, some of you may not be seeing the situation clearly enough. And you do have a capacity to see the situation clearly, but you're deliberately allowing bias and past experiences to cloud your vision. Don't do that. You may have dealt with this person in the past, and they may have done something to piss you off. And so you may have bias in the situation. Or you just may be going off past experiences. So once you overcome this challenge, what this is going to do, it's going to allow for open heart-to-heart communication so that both of you can get on the same page. Because I don't think you are on the same page. I think you're on different pages, to say the very least. So it's important to follow your inner guidance so that you see the situation clearly, so you can take action and follow your intuition here. But then you have the vessel. The vessel protects what it contains. So it's time to assess what is being held together and how. And to remember, healing cannot be sustained without a strong container. So, I believe this may be speaking to your own healing work, and or healing within the relationship. And there is a discrepancy of some sort, I believe. Then you have the Lovers. It's card Gemini. And what this is doing is giving you the opportunity to see yourself in the situation through the eyes of someone else. Because I believe in the past you didn't really care. You didn't really give a shit about seeing the situation through the eyes of someone else. And this also indicates the potential for an office romance or a mutually affectionate partnership. Someone is going to be extending an offer of love or a promise to you. Now, this is the deal. There's a need to understand that when you make a commitment, you must keep it. With this person, when you make this commitment, you must keep it. Because the word of caution here is, you may make a commitment and then have remorse for having made it. So just remember, when you make this commitment, you must keep it. And place emphasis on that. This is an opportunity for a committed romance with someone. And you're going to be meeting this person through work or a friend. And this is going to be a relationship with long-term potential. But the guidance here is not to sabotage your commitments. You can still keep your commitments while maintaining a free spirit. I think what the deal is here is, I'm not saying you guys are commitment phobes or anything like that, but Because this person can be very rigid and very regimented, very conventional, and be old school. And I think a combination of those words combined, I mean, it may make some of you nervous because you feel as though you have to change everything about you to be with this person. Which you are going to have to change some things, yes. But not everything. You can still be in a committed relationship while still being you. The reason I think this person pissed you off, or something pissed you off, is because the next card up is the King of Swords, which is card of Aquarius. This is you guys. You may be coming across very mechanical or clinical, very unemotional, unbiased, and intellectual. You know how to do your job by removing emotions from the equation. That's what makes you good at whatever you do. Whatever you do, that's why you're good at it, because you refrain from emotional-based responses. You rely on facts, evidence, and analytical data to make your decisions, even when it comes to love at this time. I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying it's how you're coming across. It's how you're being perceived. You appear to be very detached and not very romantic at the present, or whenever this comes into play. Somebody pissed you off in the past or recently. I don't know which. Something. Because you're being viewed as happy, more than happy to share information on anything except for your emotions, your lack of love. What? Emotions? I mean, you're swerving that with a quickness. I mean, anything that's of an emotive nature, you're like, I'm not really about that life right now. Or that's how you're coming across. It may not be true, but that's how you're coming across. Because you seem to be very uninterested in romance, regardless if that's the case or not. So the guidance is right now, or when this happens, is to express emotion, or at least ask your heart what it wants. And because you're having difficulty expressing empathy for your love interest. And you really aren't extremely interested in how they feel, or putting yourself in their shoes. Because what's going down is you're looking at what you perceive as being the facts regarding the matter, and you're basing your predictions off of this data. So you're forecasting the outcome of your love situation. You're like, we're basing this shit on trending behavior, baby. That's what we're going to do right now. That's how you're coming across. Whether you know that or not, or whether you mean to, or, when you get to this point. Because then you got the Sun card. So, despite your clinical nature, someone will be expressing appreciation for who you are. They love you, regardless. They're like, bitch, I don't know if you're human or not. You're not acting like it right now. But I love you anyway. That's good. That's love right there. So you're going to be having the opportunity to get into a new relationship. But be mindful. You must be open and willing to do so. And you have to free up some space on your schedule for this relationship. Because, I think a lot of you are like, baby, I would love to love you, but my schedule's a little tight right now. I don't know if I can fit you in. I don't know. Let's coordinate something. And this person's not going to be about that life, because you're dealing with the water sign, you're dealing with the King of Cups. Likely it's Scorpio, or they have significant Scorpio placements. At the very least, they're going to be a water sign of some sort. And they're not going to be about that life. They're going to need, they don't want to be coordinating anything. They want they want to have access to you. They want you to be readily available. Because, but this is the deal with this person. They don't like to wear their heart on their sleeve. This person's going to have strong romantic feelings for you, but they might be a little reserved in expressing them. Hell, I wonder why. They're like, this bitch. And because you're not coming across as really being about that life. they have emotional maturity. They're very emotionally mature, and they understand love. They're experienced in love. Again, I think this person's older than you. They have emotional maturity. They have deep loving emotions for you. This is someone that understands the meaning of true love. They understand love, and they understand you, and they understand your psychology locally. I think this person's been watching you for a while, is what I think. They've studied you. This person's very intelligent, and they understand human behavior very well. You've been a subject of sorts that they've studied, so I think this is a reason they have a depth of understanding about you. Then you have the poet, which is the card of the truth teller. The poet's work is to feel immensely and not be afraid of their emotions or expressing it. And they're required to seek out truth even in the darkest corners of the world, and they carry it back for all to see. When the poet's present, there's a necessity for deep honesty and reflection, for seeing the big picture within the little one. And this is what I think the deal is. I think that you guys get caught up in the minutiae, maybe not always, but within this situation. You may have gotten caught up in the minutiae opposed to seeing the big picture of things. You just know how the intricate details of maybe recent events or past events, whichever, how they have made you feel, opposed to seeing the big picture and really taking the time to see the actuality of the situation, because you're going on what you perceive to be as facts. Perhaps. Because the next card out you got is the Devil card. It's card Capricorn. Because the Devil brings us face to face with our deepest defects. When we get to the bottom of the Devil's manifestation in our life, we often are going to find a wounded inner child. In psychology, the shadow is defined as any part of ourselves that dwells beyond our conscious minds. It's going to be things that are tucked away in the subconscious. And this can include our primal nature, taboo desires, creative aspirations, and even a feeling of lack. Some of you may have a feeling of lack for some reason, although nothing within your external environment or external world indicates such. It's anything that cannot be reconciled within our sense of self that gets stored within the shadow. What the Devil does, it marks the inevitable point where the shadow refuses to remain suppressed, and it's often to destructive means. Leads to self-destructive behavior. Often, self-destructive behavior meaning that events that occur within your life or actions that you take, behaviors that you have that lead into a destructive means that you can't explain why you did it. There are healthy expressions of the shadow if we're willing to accept it and get to know that part of ourselves. So a lot of times we don't, because the shadow, those are going to be our darker attributes or characteristics that we believe to be as not socially acceptable. Parts of ourselves that we try to hide from ourselves. But this is the deal, is you can use your greatest powers, your greatest source of power is going to come from the depths of your darkness. If you learn not only to acknowledge that part of yourself, get to know it, and transmute it to light. Get all players on the same page, everything within yourself, because whenever you deny your shadow aspects or parts of yourself that you deem as being socially unacceptable, you're fundamentally telling yourself that you don't love yourself wholly and completely, and until you do, your shadow is going to wreak havoc in your life, and it's going to sabotage things. But if you not only accept, acknowledge, and get to know those parts of yourselves, heal them, transmute them, and use them, bring them to light, You can use them in healthy means, get all players on the same page within yourself. Then you have the Knight of Swords, which is a card of Gemini. Once you realize that, you're going to be quick to take action, and you're going to tend not to plan ahead. Instead, you're going to prefer to dive right in. Because this is going to inspire you to take action and to manifest your goals, because what you realize is that these repressed parts of yourself, your shadow aspects, that had gone unacknowledged and, repressed or whatever, they may have been preventing you from manifesting or having your manifestations come to fruition, or some of them. So once you realize that, you're going to be assertive in healing this part of yourself and getting what you want. You're going to see yourself as the creator of your future and be ready to take the necessary steps to make it happen. Because you had a need to understand the world from an intellectual point of view. You needed to quantify what was going on, because you knew there was a problem, but you didn't know what. You didn't know how to fix it because you didn't know what it was. Now that you know what it is, you can fix it. And you're going to be unstoppable once you get to this point, or if you decide to do that. Then you got the Justice card, which is a card of Libra. It represents a full-formed conception of self. You know yourself. You know all facets of yourself, or at least you have a better understanding of yourself. As such, you have the faith in the efficiency of your mind and the soundness of your judgment. So you're going to be letting go of anything that's not aligned with your ethics, your spiritual path, and you're going to be taking responsibility in the areas that you've messed up, perhaps, taking accountability. Because this is the deal. A lot of times, especially when you're dealing with shadow aspects or shadow work, a lot of times people mess up or make mistakes, and they don't even realize they're doing it because they can't. Their version of the truth isn't actually the truth. It's just, you have to remember, we can only see the truth from our vantage point. And if you're not looking at the big picture, then your perception of the truth is going to be skewed. Because then you have the Ocean. It is, there's a change. And this change is going to be beyond any change you've known before. This is once you've done all this, the ego dissolves, and you're going to be a new person. A new version of yourself is going to present itself to the world, and you're going to change. And as you change, the world around you changes. Because you see things differently. Then you have the Three of Pentacles. You're going to, as a result, it's going to cause you to value or see the value of teamwork. So I think you guys have been trying to be a one-man show is what I think. Because I don't think you thought you could depend on anybody. You're like, shit, I can't trust nobody. You're like, I want some shit done right, I'm going to have to do it myself type situation. And which may have been true. But I think you guys try to be a one-man show. And you guys are highly efficient and highly effective. You are some badasses, and I know that. But life isn't meant to be a struggle or a challenge. You guys are like the martyr. You just took everything on yourself to do yourself because you could, and because you probably have always had to. But having gone through all this, you're going to realize that if you have the right people around you, if you come from the right mindset and the right perspective, you see, the truth in its totality, then you're going to see the value of teamwork. And you'll be knowing your strengths and your weaknesses, and you're going to be working to create something bigger than the sum of its parts. So it's time to build a team, whether that's within an emotional relationship, within work, within both. And it's important to be honest in your self-evaluation so you can determine what kind of help is needed. And it's important to be thorough in your search for the right people. Also, it's important, when you get to this point, to understand that success is within reach, but it's not going to be achieved alone. You need people around you. You need a team. You need a team. You know? Then you get to the world. The world's the last card of the major arcana. After that's the Fool card. This is the end of a cycle. This cycle you guys have been going through, this is the end here. So you're going to have finally accomplished your goal or your purpose, and everything's coming together. You're going to feel like you're in the right place, you're doing the right thing with the right people. In terms of love, you're going to come to the point where you feel as though you found the right match. And you may see, for those of you who have been single for a long time, your single life may come to an end, or is going to be coming to an end. And if you're in a committed relationship, you're going to be reaching a significant milestone within your relationship. So you're going to be ready to embark on the next phase of your relationship, such as engagement, marriage, children, moving in together, whatever that looks like. Because then you got the bridge. The bridge is the connection or the link. Bridges are built to connect two worlds. They create flow, allowing us to travel between realms, ideologies, and personalities. This is the gesture of saying yes rather than withdrawing, separating, and saying no, as a means of self-preservation. When we cross a bridge to the unknown, we're going to be magically led into a new reality. When we open up to otherness, healing and communication are made possible. This can give you the opportunity to study the connections between the seemingly disconnected parts of your life. It's important to remember that the bridge cannot be forced. It must be made with love, sincerity, or its structure will not withstand the test of time. Then you got the Ten of Cups. It speaks to commitment, love, peace of mind. Everything's going to be going well. You're going to be receiving positive news of some sort. It's important that when you get to this happy place that you're not, there aren't occasions where you're so realistic and showing others how harsh the reality of life can be. I mean, don't be bringing up old shit, pretty much. Yes, you've been through that. You've had some rough experiences, etc. But leave that word in the past. At this time, you may find the progression of your love relationships going really fast. You may go on like 2 dates and decide you want to be in a committed relationship or get engaged, some shit like that. If you're in a committed relationship, if there's been any issues in your relationship, they're going to be resolved. And this is also a positive omen of longevity. Share your love and happiness. Make it visible for the world to see. But also don't boast either, so it's a word of caution. Then you have the Cave. Those who are fortunate enough to find and enter the cave are forever changed. This is where you go to heal. The cave is. It's a place of power. It acts as a portal to another realm. And it's a place where sacred rituals occur and initiation. The cave is a place to return for meaningful retreat where you can see your true self in the darkness. The cave is known to reside within the center of the heart. This is a place where you go where the walls whisper compassion and self-understanding. Because of its mystery and its power, many fear it. Many people fear getting to know who they really are, so they never try to find it. They try to find, ways to evade it. It's important to find this because it's the sacred center within. This is where you go to teach yourself patience with yourself and others. And then you have Eros. Once you get out of the cave, you've done the healing, you get to know yourself, all that good stuff. The Eros activates that. When we witness beauty and truth in the world, when our barriers soften through self-understanding and healing, and love. We can then see true beauty and truth in the world and even within ourselves. Through this process, it reconnects us to the primal longing to merge with another, or anything that we perceive to be separate from us. It's important to explore this labyrinth with a curious and honest heart. And remember, though the road or the path may be winding and seemingly never ending at times, you're always being led towards its center. Many of us long to return to a place called home, although we've never been there physically, not within this reality. But we do remember it. We know what it feels like. This is how you find your way back home. And when you get there, you're going to recognize it. You're going to know you've been there before. Because it'll feel like home. This has been your reading. I did pull a few divination of the ancients for you guys, just for advice. The first one you guys got is runes or perception. And the book reads, it's important to see things a little differently right now. Imagine yourself in the place of those who appear to be confronting you, your words or your actions. Perhaps rather than taking this as a sign of their displeasure or dislike of what you're doing, see their words as an opportunity to improve the situation by being more open-minded. Perhaps their actions will actually provide you with an even stronger, more robust idea about how to proceed. The runes are a reminder that in one single toss you can choose a very different outcome. Those that seem to be your enemies can often deliver the most useful lessons in life. Incarnation, how I perceive caused me to fail, and so the writings on the wall. Lessons in all I shall embrace, and see the good in all I face. Other divinatory meanings. Don't be so quick to judge. See the situation from all angles. There's a lesson to be learned. Understand someone else's point of view. You're acting unreasonably. Study runes for spiritual growth and understanding. And then you also got, and then also this card, it speaks to, points I made during the reading about, someone, this is going to give you the opportunity to see something or your situation through someone else's eyes. Some of you, no judgment here, but some of you may have judged, others without having the full truth. Which we all have all done it at one point. But I hope this reading gives you some insight and helps you see things from a different perspective and helps you with the situation, whatever that looks like. And the other card I got for you guys is spells. Spells are alchemy. It says, something you hold dear, a relationship, a job, an interest, an object, or even yourself, will transform mysteriously into something even more precious to you. The spell card indicates that you're starting to discover the possibilities the art of transformation offers you. Possibilities you hadn't even realized were out there. As you learn more, you'll find your needs change, and a kind of evolution takes place where you find you desire only what is best for yourself. You have the Midas touch. Right now, your standards and expectations become so pure that whatever you touch turns to metaphoric gold. You'll be supported in gaining a new sense of self-worth, which will draw all that you deserve and desire directly to you. Incarnation, humble bubble, stirring well, transformation all by spell. Changing, growing, hour by hour, behold the alchemical power. Other divinatory meanings. This is a time of great transformation. All is turning out beautifully. You have the power to change the situation, believe in your self-worth, have positive expectations. You have the ability to succeed. Your pure intentions are key. I had mentioned earlier in the reading that you guys are the magician. So you do absolutely have the power and the ability to transform this or any situation, and to manifest the life that you want, to manifest the life that you desire. You have the Midas touch. Anything you touch turns to metaphoric gold right now. You have the ability to transform yourself in a situation. So remember that. Take your power back. You've got this. Okay? So there's your reading, Aquarius. I hope you have a fantastic day. I hope this reading finds you well. And if this reading did resonate with you, please like, share, and subscribe. This is a new channel. I'm trying to grow it. So I would very much value and appreciate your support. So until next time, namaste.